Hey, what's up guys? If you own this router right here, this is the DeWalt DW618. Let me show you the box. It's a 2 1/4 electric variable speed fixed base router. And if you want to install it to this router table, workbench, right here, if you're trying to take this router right here that has several holes on the bottom and line it up with that plate right there which has several holes, because that's like a universal plate made for different types of routers, it is not easy trying to twist and turn it and get the router bit, the center of that, to line up perfectly with the center hole right there. And I spent probably at least 30 minutes trying every possible scenario and it didn't line up. Then all of a sudden I walked away and came back and turned it a certain way and bam, it lined up perfect. So I'm going to show you today, this will probably be a quick little video, how to properly mount this to this right here. Let's get started. Alright, so I moved the camera back away from the workbench a little bit. So this is the router right here, and it has these plates right here, the clear plates. So I took that off and I took the screws off. I just taped them with this painter's tape so I don't lose those 4 screws. So if you look at the router itself, I'm actually going to make it a little bit easier for me by taking it off. You kind of like unbuckle that there, push those 2 in there, take the motor off. There, it's really lightweight now. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit right here. So what I did is I took this white paint pen, this is actually by Milwaukee, and I circled the 3 holes that line up with this plate right here. This is part of the workbench. So what I'm going to do is show you the 3 holes. Alright, so hopefully you can see this pretty well. There's actually only 2 holes that are right next to each other. So if you put that at the very bottom, which I would say, you know, like at the 6 o'clock, circle that top one right there. That's one of the holes that you're going to need to line up with the plate. And then this one over here, if you can see that one. And then this one right here, if you can see that one. So what I did is I just put 2 little white marks right there. That's number 2. And I put 1 mark right there for number 1. 3 little white dots for 3. And let me show you how that coincides with this right here. If you take the Husky plate, you have that logo on the bottom. So these screws right here, I purchased separate. They go through this Husky plate and into the router plate right here. So if you look at the holes, the way they line up, have the Husky, like I said, at the bottom, and right there is 3, and 1 is right at the very top, which is like the 12 o'clock position of a clock. And go 3 holes, empty, and then the next one is a 2 right there. So hopefully that makes sense. You can see that. These screws that I have right here are probably a little hard to see. They're exactly a 1/2 inch length overall. So I just took the screws that came with the router right here into the hardware to match them up and get something that's just a little bit longer. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. Like I said, there's a 1 right there that I did that hole that's circled. So the 1 goes with the very top. There, I'm going to hold that in place a minute. Put a screw in there. So these 1/2 inch screws I have could probably be a little bit longer. So what I did is I tried to loosen them a little bit because I want to push this down there and twist it. But I have to allow the clearance of these hand grips to go underneath the thickness of that table. So if I loosen it enough, I think I can twist it into place. Otherwise, I'd have to hold it from underneath and then put the screws in from the top and line it up. But I actually did this once before where I just loosened this enough. That one's still connected. These 2 are not. Let me see if I we can take this plate out right here so we can see what we're doing a little bit better. So I'm going to tighten this number 3 one down a little bit. So now I can just look up here. All right, there. rotate it so I can line these up. Tighten that one nice and snug, and then that number 2 one lines up perfectly. Alright, so before I install the motor, you have these 4 corner screws right here. This will secure the router plate to the table. Okay, line this up with right there. I can just kind of feel with my hand, get it close. That's locked into place. So I twist that, you can see that lines up perfect in the center. Alright, so there you go. I have the router attached. It is ready to run. Let me show you what it looks like from underneath. Alright, if you look up underneath here, you can just kind of see how the router is attached. I just need to flick that close right there so it's locked in place. And then you just hook up your power cord. Right there's your on-off switch. There. Top. Bottom. So I hope that clarifies the installation of the DeWalt DW618. This is something I could go into another video just showing you how I made this fence right here with the dust collection system. So this will mount and line up to this right here, and then you can put your router bit there. Let me get a close-up look for you. So as you can see, I made this right here so that lines up, and that can be tightened down to this track system. And then the other thing I did is I took this piece right here from a shop vac and I used my hot glue gun to fix it on there temporarily. I'll probably do something a little more permanent. Hot glue doesn't always last the longest. So there, I can adjust where I want that, and then I can just run my material along there into the router. So if you have any more questions about this router table and the way that it hooks up, please let me know. I'm not familiar with how other models work with this, but I'll see if I can find a link that has a manual. I'll put that down below. Otherwise, I'll give you a resource of where you can contact Husky. So hopefully this video helps you. If it does, please give it a thumbs up and help support my channel. That's it, friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.